And it's a mess, I just wanted us to bond like Sean Connery, Daniel Craig.
Hey, what he said? I just wanted us to bond like Sean Connery and Daniel. This nigga didn't just give us Terminator bars, bro. This nigga didn't.
Why are you hating? I hit 2 million views on my basement. June told me, bro, let's go out on vacation. I'm still on probation, big bro, I can't make it.
Queso has come back with another reaction. And today we're reacting to Dave Panic Attack live from the Future Festival 2017. Now, I'm so happy that I fell into that Dave rabbit hole. And I'm so happy because he's one of those artists that you find where I am yet to find a miss. I'm actually over here sort of waiting to find something that I almost don't completely love, something that I just think is good, because everything I've heard so far has damn near been perfection, and it's perfection in different ways. Whether we're talking about Psycho, whether we're talking about Heart Attack, whether we're talking about the record with Stormzy, they've all been just perfect in their own ways. And I've just been so happy that I found an artist this dope that I can react to, that my community rocks with, and that the community, you know, the Dave's audience rocks with me, and, you know, I'm being embraced. I just love that kind of vibe because this man deserves more acclaim. But let's see, y'all have told me Panic Attack is the record I need to do next. And if you're not commenting down in my comment section what you want me to react to next, Playboy, you just ain't living, because I'm a man of the people, not above but equal. If you ask for it, I will bring it to you. But before we get to this reaction, boom, my Patreon has officially launched. Yo, if y'all want to support the Big Dipper, if you rock with me, if you're a member of the Queso Big Dipper family, that's the KBD family, go join the Patreon. And it's not just to support me, yo, you're going to get classic album reviews, classic music video reactions, and my podcast, along with all of my videos that have ever been blocked off YouTube and all that good stuff. I'm bringing it straight to y'all. So it would mean a lot to me if y'all for real would go click that link, pinned comment, go click on it, join the Patreon, join the tier, show some love. Now I'm done talking, but before I break it down, hit that thumbs up button if you're new to the channel. Hey, how are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, because if you don't subscribe, your granny is a dirty, stinking little bitch. We popping off. You know, another thing about Dave that I've seen off of his live performance to Black, it's another Dave reaction that we've done so far. Dave is such a great pianist. And it's like, you don't even like, I don't know, when it comes to like great rappers, especially because I consistently say, Dave makes gangster rap. Now, while it is very introspective and while it's very dimensional, it's not so surface level. It's just not a person talking about how hard he is or how many bodies he got or what he will do to his opposition. There's a lot of dimensions to it, but it is still gangster rap because Nas is gangster rap. Whether you like it or not, it's gangster rap. But when you see someone that he can play an instrument and now start speaking to the musical mind of Dave and the musical genius that this man is, a lot of rappers call themselves artists, but it's hard for me to say like a Lil Pump or a Lil Xan or a lot of people are artists. But I can really say Dave is a motherfucking artist, cuz. Get to him, cuz. That lighting epic.
I bet them boys think I'm panicking, itching to see how I handle it when snakes start rattling. Calm, I can show you about harm. Put blades into palms, half the length of my arm. I end up in a station and I'm staring into space like a mannequin in Clark's. I ain't panicking, I ain't had a random change of heart. Cash points and cannabis, you cocaine snort if you think I got caught. I'm kicking like a stallion.
You cocaine snorting if you think I got caught. I'm kicking like a stallion. And he's just speaking to his, so now he's I love Dave because not only does he give you the mind of a person who comes from this cloth, who comes from these environments, that comes from these situations, but he doesn't just glorify it. He gives you a very realistic perspective. And sometimes that's tricky because to do something, you know what I'm saying? If you ask me right now, okay, so why are you a rapper? I'm going to tell you 100 reasons why being a rapper is dope. If you ask me, why do I do reactions on YouTube? I'm going to tell you 100 reasons why reactions are dope. But sometimes why that's tricky is because I'm not going to tell you about it's 2 a.m. right now while I'm recording this, but I so desperately want to react to Dave. I really want to put this video out. Because I have so many requests from y'all asking me for Dave reactions. I got to keep the ball rolling along with all the other stuff I do. I'm not telling you about that. I'm not telling you about the sleepless nights. I'm not telling you about making videos that are going to drop, that are going to flop if I just told you all the reasons why I am a reactor, or I'm not going to tell you about writing verses or all that, making songs that might not. I love a person who is so real with you that they give you that perspective. They give you that in their music, because sometimes it is tricky to toe the line, and sometimes it's tricky to, how do I tell you how I feel? How do I tell you all of my darkest moments without it coming off as if I'm begging you for sympathy? But Dave is not begging you for sympathy. He's just giving you himself at 100%. That way we can relate to it. And I tell y'all, this is my brother. This is my brother from another mother. We Nigerian. We both came up in the streets. All this kind of shit. He's one of the most relatable artists I've ever heard.
Points and cannabis, you cocaine snort if you think I got caught. I'm kicking like a stallion. I lived in a yard and my mommy tried hard for all the things that I wanted, but my money was inadequate. I'd only be killed by my cousins back in Africa if they knew I risked my hot food and resources every day to dress nicer on a camera.
And that's what I'm talking about. He said, my family would probably kill me back in Africa if they knew I risked my freedom and hot food so that I can look good on the camera. He's saying, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, that is such a deep, complex bar, because you could take it at surface level, like, oh, okay, yeah. But what he's deeper, you're going into the mind of Dave, and he allows you to go into his mind for free. He just, okay, here it is. This is me. He's saying that where we come from, these third world countries, the idea of having light all the time, having water, having all of these things, for some people, that is not a for sure. There's like, you go to my house in Nigeria, it's fine, we got light, we got water, all that shit, but there's people who don't, you know what I'm saying? When we talk about where we come from, so when you come to America and you start risking it for the biscuit, and you start hopping out that porch, and you start doing these real jug moves, it would seem crazy to them, because in America, or not even in America, in the UK, but we'll just call it abroad. And I say America because that's where I'm from, so I'm speaking literally as myself right now. But let's just say abroad, we become so caught in this rat race of, oh, cuz went and bought them new Jordans. I got to get them new Jordans because socially I will become a pariah if I don't look right. In our communities, that's how it is. Let's be real. In urban and black communities, your dress, your drip, what you drop, all these things are, you can, nigga, if you ain't got no drip, no nothing, niggas ain't fucking with you, hoes ain't fucking, you ain't, it's a vain world we live in. And yes, as a black man, I will tell you that. And black niggas watching know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah, come on, man. Sometimes I be seeing on milk wearing, I'm, cuz we can't, no, we about to, you know what I'm saying? It's just not like us. So when he's saying like, bro, I'm risking my freedom just to look the part, while my family is in this motherfucker risking their lives just to eat. Nigga, and y'all wonder why I tell you this is one of the realest niggas to ever rap, bro. Because I think the perspective of what we are, growing up as an African in abroad is a very weird situation for us, because you run into a situation where white people, I mean, nigga, we black, right? We're niggas. But then black people always are going to put that somewhat of a bridge between us too, where you run into a situation where you too black to be white, and you sure as hell too black, or you too black to be black, and you sure as hell too black to be white. And you feel like it's sort of you against the world, because there's certain situations that us as African Americans or African UK niggas, you can't relate. A black American in America, we don't necessarily relate to that. Yes, we relate to the struggles and things that happen in America, but our cultures are different. There's different nuances, and a lot of us, we either embrace it or we don't. But we live in such a unique kind of world. We live in such a unique kind of, it's a very unique perspective being a first generation African American. Literally, you know, my parents came from Nigeria. And I just think that someone to articulate that for me, I've never had somebody articulate my experience besides myself. You know what I mean? I've never really heard people speak to my experience, and it's just like, God damn.
Of all the things that I wanted, but my money was inadequate. I'd probably be killed by my cousins back in Africa if they knew I risked my hot food and resources every day to dress nicer on a camera.
Yo.
I don't need your input or your managers. Forget him and his lame job. It's been 2 years and you're sitting in the same spot, chilling in the same blocks. Me and you are different. You talk about beef while I plan your route home. I run up in your safe spot and leave the place taped off. It's deeper than a name drop. Real problem.
But he will give you some gangster shit. Folks, he gonna get deep, but he will give you some gangster shit. Cause we say we talking beef, nigga. I'm running in your crib, leaving that bit taped off. You already know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? He letting you know. Don't think just because I get in this bitch and really be breaking it down, talking about the Egyptians and all the spirits and the pharaohs, I won't get on your motherfucking ass. And you gotta give KB the award. Cause we could talk about anything, baby. I could get real deep with you, cuz we could really talk about spirituality. We talked about how this whole world's a lot. We could talk about a lot. But don't think I won't run off in your motherfucking mouth if you play with me, cuz. Don't think I can't make a... I'm just trying to tell you, man. Come, this is my nigga right here.
Home. I run up in your safe spot and leave the place taped off. It's deeper than a name drop. Real problems don't need discussions. I fear God and not repercussions. I'm only angry at the choices that I didn't make.
And you know, sometimes when we speak of like, woof, Dave be giving me so much, bro. Dave be giving me so much. I was looking through some of these reactions of Dave, and I'm seeing like 9-minute reactions to 5-minute Dave songs. I'm like, yo, y'all must not have caught the bars. Y'all must not have caught that shit must not have touched you like it touched me. Because this is one of them records. This is one of these people. He's one of these artists that when I react to, I gotta talk. I gotta give him the credit he deserves. That's all. That's why my reaction be like, I gotta give you the credit you deserve.
No repercussions.
And we speak of like, when we talk about I'm a gangster for sure that. And Dave is a gangster for sure that. And one time in a Katie Couric interview, Lil Wayne said one of the most worded it eloquently. Katie Couric said, so you're a gangster? He said, yes, I am, Miss Katie. He said, what does that mean? He said, I do whatever I want, whenever I want. Now, surface level, but you have to always, when people speak, you have to take it with nuance. Dave is a gangster because what he just said, that was some of the most gangster shit I ever heard. The only thing I fear is God, bro. Once you stop fearing, man, once you stop fearing things like that, that's what makes you a gangster. And that doesn't mean that you necessarily have to be out here getting into shootouts and shit to be a gangsta-ass nigga. I bet you there's a lot of gangsta-ass niggas on world. I be in one of them boardrooms. Them motherfucking... The nigga fired his own mama on the hood. Them niggas is gangsters too. It just means you're not afraid anymore. Stop being afraid. Open up. Be a gangster. You might be a gangster right there. You watch it right there. You ain't even know it. You might be a little gangster. I'm just trying to tell you. Come on, man.
In a name drop. Real problems don't need discussions. I fear God and not repercussions. I'm only angry at the choices that I didn't make. I regret what I did, but what I didn't say. And for this money, I'm on a different wave. That's why I ain't written in his will when I say that I'm on his estate. It comes to arms when I got an entourage like Vinny Chase. This ain't Chirac. We don't need a 38, just 2 young G's, 1 night pouch, and this little blade.
Oh, hold on. Hold on. And Dave Phillips, he said this ain't Chirac. But I feel Dave. And you know why I feel Dave? I'm not going to play with them niggas how they get down in Chicago. But what I will tell you is, as Americans, we do discredit other people's struggles. As Americans, we do discredit certain regions. Like, we don't think the UK's like, we think y'all niggas drinking tea and crumpets. I'm being real. I'm a real nigga. I'll tell you what's really going on over here. If a nigga tell you differently, he either ain't been outside or he motherfucking lying. That's what we thought. It wasn't, and that's the beauty of music. That's the beauty of me doing these international reactions. It's not that I just want to hear that you struggle, but it's like, wow, you go through what I go through. Wow, you look at shit sort of similar to how I look at shit. But so when he said that, there was a little passion, there was a little aggression, there was a little anger in there. Yeah, these niggas in Chicago probably been discrediting what we talking about. Talking about you can't be in like that from the UK, but Dave, brother, in the pen right now. Dave dealing with all the kind of... Dave got dead homies like we got dead homies. Dave got homies in jail like we got homies in jail. So who are we to say your struggle is not worth it, or your struggle is a little less authentic or inauthentic to ours? Nah, let that man talk. These niggas is going through the same shit we going through. And that's what we gotta... Sometimes we gotta open our minds and realize, like, bro, the world's just grass and water. You know what I'm saying? Don't think because your grass is, like the analogy, the grass always grows on the other side. Don't think your grass different than these motherfuckers. Your grass might be the same as that shit. They just probably cut it different. You feel me?
This ain't Chirac. We don't need need a 38, just 2 young G's, 1 night pouch and this little blade. And if you lived that day, give thanks to your God, cause there isn't one prayer mummy didn't say. Still wonder what my dad would say. And it's a mess, I just wanted us to bond like Sean Connery, Daniel Craig.
Hey, what he said? I just wanted us to bond like Sean Connery and Daniel. This nigga didn't just give us Terminator bars, bro. This nigga didn't just give us Terminator bars, bro. Because what, Dave? He's also witty than a bitch, bro. Right now, Panic Attack, he's witty. He's in a very clever bag. Dave, rap is rhythm and poetry. Dave is a real poet. Like, look at this piano, look at the options, look at everything. I feel like I'm at a poetry jam more than I'm at a rap concert, and this is so dope. Like, whew.
My dad would say, and it's a mess, I just wanted us to bond like Sean Connery, Daniel Craig. No first steps, nah, my daddy couldn't see me cry. I'm still searching for the reason why. I was 6 months old, I bust up my mum, no home, struggling.
And what he's telling you now is, bro, I ain't grow up with my pops, bro. So, nah, he didn't see me cry. What he's saying is, like, it's not even like a thing. He didn't see what me growing up. And for people who grew up without their fathers and shit like that, a man is always going to have that sense of how do you just leave me? Like, I'm not worth nothing. I don't matter. You don't give a fuck about me. And we gotta give a shout out and praise to all the single moms, all the people who raise, especially a woman trying to raise a man, because it's very different. The way you might react to a situation just culturally from the difference of men and women, we aren't supposed to handle certain situations like that. I don't believe a man is really supposed to raise his voice to nobody. Do you know why I think that? Because as a man, if you raise your voice to me, I assume you want to fight. So I'm finna stick you. But a woman, you can raise your voice because there's not a consequence of you getting punched in your mouth. I'm not going to punch a lady in her mouth, you feel me? But we got to give praise and shout out to all the single moms who did raise young kings and did try their best to be mother, father at the same time, who had to be the loving mother and the disciplinarian at the same time. We got to give love to that. And this is why I love this nigga's fucking music. Because I don't know another song where I've been listening to where I'm giving praise to single mothers, bro. This is what I'm trying to tell you, bro. It is the conviction. It's a passion. This is what hip-hop is about. This is what music is about. It is the thought that this invokes.
I'm still searching for the reason why. I was 6 months old, I bust up my mum, no home, struggling to get him in like a legal high. We're so volatile.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I was 6 months old at the bus station with my mom trying to find a way to get him in ketamine, like illegal. Oh my God, nigga, that might have been the bar. That might have been the bar that broke the dam, bro. That might have been the bar that broke the dam. Hold on.
Bust up my mum, no home, struggling to get him in like a legal high. We're so volatile, look over the reasons why people die. Man, it's beef, never sleeps or slides. Man, are dying over my...
Let's talk about it, bro. There's a TikTok trend or an Instagram video trend, which I just assume is TikTok, where it's like, do BPM. And so you go... and there's a beat playing and you do it with it, and then the beat cuts and you're supposed to do it at the same time. I've watched like 30 people who can't do that shit. To flow on beat without a beat is incredibly difficult. That is why things like metronomes and shit like that are there for people when they create beats, even when you rap, because sometimes you're gonna need that. The fact he can just do it a cappella and then come back in, and you have to remember he's also the one playing. So come back in, you're now thinking about the piano and thinking about your flow and thinking about your bars, not stumbling or nothing. And he comes in with it, bro. This nigga is now transcending into just, I believe almost all of the greatest musicians are rappers, right? But Dave, the good rappers, not all of them, but the good ones. But Dave, this nigga he might fuck around, end up in the top 10. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. This nigga is like that. I fuck with this nigga.
Look over the reasons why people die. Man, it's beef, never sleeps or slides. Man are dying over minor violations. That's why I keep the beef and the bread separate like TGIs. They touch us with
They dying over no, that's a fucking bar, cuz they dying over minor minor, whatever he said. That's why I keep the beef and bread separate like a TGI. Thank God it's for TGI Friday. Oh my God.
over minor violations. That's why I keep the beef and the bread separate like TGIs. They touch us, we pay them back like it's PPI. Let's ride, get animated like CGI. They're being a hype man. I'll settle for his right hand, you can't buy heart, remember. Hawkeye, you think these undercover cars can get us? Well, I can't spot the bacon in the passing vectors. Don't you find it funny that I study law and still recruit young fraud stars like I'm Harvey Specter?
Oh my God, not like the bird nigga who studied law. Oh my God. At this point, who rapping like this nigga, bro? At this point, who can balance a message, a flow, a great pacing, great storytelling, bars, and authenticity the way Dave can? Who can, because that's almost all of my checklist for what I look for a rapper, and it's 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. For you talking about 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. I'm trying to tell you.
Don't you find it funny that I study law and still recruit young fraud stars like I'm Harvey Specter? I'm hot-headed, I swear that I had a dream though. A young fire before I'd spoken with Abelino. Nowadays, music's got my schedule looking hectic. I ain't got a timeline and Travolta with Tarantino. Look, I ain't slacking. It's money over passion. I mean passion over money. Hate this money with a passion. Money's just a paper.
And I love that. I love that. It's money over passion. Then he thinks about it. He's like, nah, it's passion over money because I hate this money with a passion. The way he flips that passion and money, he just used that as the rhyme scheme itself and juggles it back and forth. This is...
It's money over passion. I mean passion over money. Hate this money with a passion. Money's just a paper. I got value in my assets. I got value in my mental. It's me, phrase or 169 on instrumental. I swear that I'm...
And that's, bro, are you catching these bars? I got value in my assets because money is just paper. Money just buys us things of value. Money really doesn't mean shit. Money buys us shit that means shit, right? But then he takes it deeper. I got money in my assets. That was for those of us who are thinking on a vain level. But I have value in my mental. My thoughts are the real value. This motherfucker. And he making money off his words. So that's enough. That's like a quadruple in that bitch, man.
Make it rapping. Even if it kills me, I swear I'll make it happen. Digital piano till my hands bled, literally. I was smashing keys till my fingers grew callous. How could I fear rappers? I feel words take colors, defeat challenge. Give thanks to my synesthesia. I ain't a rapper, I'm a bloody genius. And when I see you, don't panic. Remember what you said on the roads, there's no lacking. I wanna see you draw for your boot, there's no time. Or jump out the passenger side and there's no traffic. Catch you with a girl, your mum, you do the same. So we'll take you to an inch of your life through your chatting. Just make peace. I used to let disrespect slide to make peace. Now it's like I'm stuck in two minds to my reaction. Cause my pride and my ego turned giant like James Dean.
And that's some of the realest shits. Most beefs I've ever seen, most situations I've ever seen, most things that have led to permanent consequences. I ain't gonna say what, but permanent consequences. They are all based off of pride and ego. Bro did this nigga did this, disrespect this nigga fucked this nigga girl, this nigga said this about him, this nigga said this nigga spray painted, this nigga blocked this nigga. It's always pride and ego. It's never such like a force of like I have to defend myself, or like most of I've seen them situations too, but most, if we're gonna do numbers and I'm gonna be real, in the streets, most of that's mostly what causes these situations is somebody's ego gets hurt, somebody's pride gets stepped on, and I ain't above that. I done definitely did some stupid shit by the nigga offending my ego, playing with my pride, nigga calling me out my name or something like that. I done, yeah, straight up square business. But do you know why I hold Dave such to a high esteem is because one of my favorite artists, real nigga shit, is Lil Durk, right? I love Durk. His newer shit is really good, but I really like Durk, like in between that tape with T Grizzly until like Love Letters for the Streets 2. That's my favorite Durk, right? But Durk, while he does talk about the situations and does talk about the streets, Durk will make a song like Kanye Crazy. Durk will make a song about Kanye West and Kanye West wearing a MAGA hat, and Kanye West doing this, these niggas making overpriced shoes and shit. And I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I come from a third world country. I come from a country where that's at war right now. I don't give a fuck about no Kanye West. Give me that real shit. I don't give a fuck about. I love hip hop. I love the culture, and I know that certain shit. But to be real with you, as a grown ass man with worries that cares about his family and shit like that, I don't give a fuck what they charging for Yeezys, bro. I don't give a fuck about whether Kim and Kanye are divorced, whether she dating Pete Davidson. I don't even know why the fuck I know that. Real nigga shit. I don't care about that shit. I care about my people. I care about us. I care about humanity. I care about the world. So when you get a man who is speaking to the world, he's speaking of the world, speaking for us. It's not about shoes. It's not about jewelry. It's not about whips. But I understand those are all beautiful things and beautiful aspects of our community, and I'm not mad at them. But to tell you I give a fuck, I don't. I bought jewelry. I had jewelry. I got a car. I got hella clothes. I got shoes. That shit don't mean shit to a nigga no more, bro. I'm 24 years old. Nigga, when I was 17, yeah, that was that shit. But then I look at artists, I look at rappers, I'm like, damn, y'all niggas damn near cracking 30. I love Future. I really do. I love Future. I think he's a legend in his own right. But I don't give a fuck about, no, you popping perkies and taking Xannies and you fucking bitching and Gucci. I could give a rat's ass about that, bro. I honestly. At where I'm at as a man, I don't give a fuck about that shit no more. This is grown man music. This is adult. This is contemporary hip hop. This is adult music. This is very deep subject matter. This takes some thought. This takes some knowledge of hip hop and skill to understand what he's doing to this high of a degree. I'm gonna take Dave over Future, cuz. And Future got some of my favorite songs. But I'm gonna take, cause this is much more valuable, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of these niggas, a lot of these artists are giving you fast food. They're giving you easily digestible, quick, easy. Don't gotta think about it. It's just here today. It's gone tomorrow. I shit it out. But this nigga giving you a full course meal, nigga, with a little fondue dip, cuz I'm trying to tell you, nigga gotta let, bitch. And I'm gonna take that full course meal, that home cooked meal with some substance. I'm gonna be full for a couple hours. Fucking with that post to the McDonald's, I'm gonna be full for 35 minutes. I'm gonna need to run that back. That Big Mac was hitting. I'm gonna take that over that always, bro.
Mess right, and if that catty doesn't, the third time with no strings attached like a test drive, I'm telling her I'm cutting in the next 5. All communication breaking down like an enzyme. Seconds, the most precious commodity. I invest time. I was late.
Ain't nothing more valuable than your time, cuz.
Straight for 3 years. Guess that's 2 ways that I could never make a deadline. I was out in Power League, more real. Straight for 3 years. Guess that's 2 ways that I could never make a deadline. I was out in Power League, more real. Camel in the rain, hell sleep on my football on a deadline. Scraping by my pennies, trying to link a jersey on my 85-20 and I couldn't link one.
Talk that shit.
Stress got finessed by my main and he didn't get touched. Had me sitting there. Think about my people and the times that we missed. Like, have you ever lost love? Have you ever had a guy that would die so you live in a cage, kept away from your brother and your mum? In my world, you're unsure to the people you can trust. When you lose the only person that was there from the jump.
And that's the realest shit, bro. That nigga said, have you ever... So he's talking about like a situation where his homie snaked him over. And then he's like, bro, that bar was one of the most impactful ones of the song so far. Have you ever lost love? Do you really have friends you can't ever see again? Do you really have people? That is a pain that's one of the hardest pains to deal with. And David just beautifully flowing, just beautifully and so eloquently putting this together. I love how Dave just allows us to go into the mind of a man from this. And I know you from this, my nigga. These are some of my most passionate reactions. And honestly, I'll be less joking because I'll be more serious with the Dave shit because honestly, bro, it warrants that kind of reaction. Music is just going to give you the energy. Whatever energy you take, you're going to give it back. This be like therapy. This be like a moment where I sit in that chair and I think about myself and I do some cognitive thinking and I do some real processing. I'm trying to tell you.
As they come, and I ain't changed from the knife and the siphon to the shotgun shows in a party with a pump. Ask Adam, ask Paddy, with squares out strikers, but I'm more like Ebro of arguing this beef because I hardly ever run. I've got pride. I see man running for their life, get caught. Man, they're covering their heart and their lungs with their arms on his ones because his right hand panicked. I don't even blame him. You seen him?
He's covering his body and his heart with his arm, but his right arm, he flinched. Bro, listen to how he's breaking it down. He's painting this door. He flinched. And that happened. He flinched. And oh my God. Somebody get this nigga fuck a Grammy, cuz. Fuck a Grammy. KBD award. Dave, you got another one. I think you got 3, cuz. I ain't gonna hold you.
In their lungs with their arms on his ones because his right hand panicked. I don't even blame him. You seen a man scream while he bleeds on the pavement, guts in his hands, civilians with tissue putting pressure where the pain is. The panic as you fade in, blocking out sound so your body shuts down when your organs start failing. Knife crime dangerous, next day famous. Give it 6 years, they won't remember what your name is. Everything changes when your case is irrelevant. And all the guys.
And that's one thing I be telling my niggas, like, bro, we risking our lives and some shit, bro, but how many of our friends have died, right? How many funeral t-shirts you got? You wear them bitches. The last time you said, long live swag. That's my last homie that, you know, that passed, and long live the dead. Like, I really do miss my nigga, but bro, the way this world is, there's so many niggas getting lost, so many of us, so many brothers ain't making it through this motherfucker. You damn near don't even got time to grieve everybody. Right when you grieve with someone, somebody else gone. Sometimes we don't realize in the streets or in these worlds or in these communities what we're really risking. It's a battle for your soul, and that's all I'm gonna say on that one. But gone but never forgotten. We say that shit and shit, but that shit ain't real, nigga. That shit ain't real. We got homies that we lost in 2012, nigga. I don't see none of my niggas talking about no RIP to them. I don't see it. I don't see it.
Give it 6 years, they won't remember what your name is. Everything changes when your case is irrelevant. And all the guys who claim they would ride in your name looking lost, them boys don't have half the heart to settle it. Some class end up dead or in jail. Our scales about times you was chilling with my brother in the chicken shop opposite the entrance to Tennyson's. Everybody's dying, but nobody's rising up a Remington.
Then that's the fluctuation he put in there, that passion. Everybody's dying. Man, this nigga be talking to the streets.
Class end up dead or in jail. Our scales about times you was chilling with my brother in the chicken shop opposite the entrance to Tennyson's. Everybody's dying, but nobody's rising up a Remington. We've got shanks, and false hope, everybody's selling it. You ain't getting rich quick trying to sell big bits. Too lazy to work, so you want to own a business.
False hoping everybody's selling it. You too lazy to work. You started a clothing brand. And I do know a lot of niggas with clothing brand, bitch. You don't go get yourself a job. I know a lot of niggas been hustling. I'm going to be honest with you. You a dope boy watching this motherfucker right here. Let a real nigga tell you, because I was a dope boy. If you been a dope boy for some years, right? I'm mind my business. I don't care about nothing. Don't comment if you is. This is between me and you. You been a dope boy for years. You still ain't made it out. You still ain't rich. And if you is rich, you can't stop because you won't be rich no more, which means you're not really rich because you're not free. That shit wasn't for you. And then you got to ask yourself a really real question. Is you chasing that money or is you chasing that lifestyle? Because there's a big difference, Playboy. There's a big difference. This nigga Dave, bro. I think Dave does such a wonderful thing of being so real and speaking. Like, he talks about his struggles with the struggles of dealing with losing his brother. And when I say losing, just losing his freedom and shit like that. But Dave speaks to that. And so it speaks to a specific, like people like me or shit. Like I say, speaking for the streets, but also it's so beautifully put. It's so well written and composed. And the piano is so beautiful that I don't think this nigga right here in this white shirt got a situation like that. I don't know him, can't judge a book by cover, but I'm going to just guess. But he can still feel this because the music is so beautiful. And now, for me, when I hear it, it's a relatable thing, right? And I can enjoy it for that. But it's such good music that you could never have been in one of these situations. But you can watch it from like a third person and feel him because it's so well. He broke down specifically where he was sitting with his brother in relation to the door. Like, when you get that deep with it, anybody can feel this. Anybody can feel this because we can all, it's a difference of this being a true story and being a horror movie. But yeah, people enjoy both. But it should be scary that real stories for some people is horror movies. I ain't gonna hold you.
Getting rich quick, trying to sell big bits, too lazy to work, so you want to own a business or a clothing line.
Yeah.
No vision, you can't cut corners in a line of life. Karma's like the tightest vice, I'm running on my own. CCTVs in your hands, bro, they've got it on your phone.
Oh, now he talking to these little niggas. We over here hot boy shit, man. You got your phone on you right up, nigga. They just motherfucking ping off the towel right there. Be careful. This nigga is
The tightest vice, I'm running on my own.
And I love how he switches and does a little, like, instead of riding the end rhymes, he hits a little middle rhyme in that bitch right there, too. We're gonna play that back.
You can't cut corners in a line of life. Karma's like the tightest vice, I'm running.
In the line of life, tightest vice, that it went from a single end rhyme to, I guess it is the second to last word, but it's still a middle. But what he does is line of life, tightest vice. So now it's two words running in this rhyme scheme. He switched up the whole rhyme pattern on niggas.
My own CCTVs in your hands, bro. They've got it on your phone. If they catch me going home, looking for another young rapper to expose and probably cutting from the scene. Because with the evidence they gain, I'm getting more than just a soul. I ain't living for the gram, man. I'm snitching on a cam. If I hit him, then I'm done. But if he dips me, he's the man. I can't win. There's no way I'm handling that. If I run, then I'm a neat. But if I don't, then I'm a fool. So on road, I'm looking happy. But I'm screaming in my head, having panic attacks. They got me angry.
Now, he talk about his perspective, and I've never been one against rappers talking about their fame because it's not that. My thing is sometimes people make it like Machine Gun Kelly. He do that shit a lot where it's just like, feel bad for me because I'm so rich and successful, and I don't want to be rich and successful. But Dave's not saying he doesn't want to be rich and successful. What he's doing beautifully is speaking to the consequences of being rich and successful. It's crazy, the concept right there. But what he's saying is like, it's not that, but it's that always a sense of unease because I know a nigga can punch me right now. And if I punch this nigga back, I'm a fool and they gonna sue me. But if I run, I'm a pussy. And either way, it's going to be damaging to him, to his brand, because in this culture, in rap, your face card, your name, if you good for that, once we figure out you a bitch, we done with that. You know what I'm saying? And that's some real shit. That's a real ass thing to think of.
I'm a fool, so on road I'm looking happy, but I'm screaming in my head, having panic attacks. It got me anxious. I'm two wrong responses from a shanking at any given time.
I'm two wrong responses from a shanking. Hold on.
Got me anxious. I'm two wrong responses from a shanking at any given time. I've been there and done that on many different nights.
Yeah.
And that's probably the reason I got many different rhymes. I'm really living life.
Dave, talk to him. Talk to him, man. At this point was Dave. He's 4 for 4, undefeated, unmatched. This nigga is something else. He's a true artist, bro. It is a blessing. It's my pleasure to give y'all Dave reactions. And like he said, bro, the greatest thing, the most valuable thing someone can give you is a time. And I wish I could give him more of my time because that to me is what he deserves. People spend hours talking about movies. People spend years writing books like The Big Lebowski. Why don't we spend hours? Why don't we spend years championing this culture when it needs it, when it deserves it? And Dave, you motherfucking deserve it. Now here comes another music video by me right here. Bing, that's my music video. Or a reaction by me right here. Bing, click on it, show me some love. You watch this video this long, you ain't thumbs this bitch up and subscribe, you is a bitch. So hit that thumbs up button and subscribe and join the Patreon. It's 2 a.m. Then we're going to sleep. KBD family, love y'all. Y'all see this in the morning. I am out.